All right, guys, so I recently was able to read Aquaman Volume 1, the hardcover, The Trench, as it's called. And it actually has 2 or 3 different stories, 2 single issues, and 1 4-issue story arc, the first 4-issue story arc called The Trench, dealing with these humanoid guys. I don't remember ever actually get a name for these dudes, but they kind of show up as a new threat. Aquaman's never dealt with them before, and it turns out they're actually like a highly evolved fish-human crossover predating Atlantis, like Atlantis sinking, and it raises a lot of questions. This whole storyline, the whole 6 issues, is nothing but plot threads thrown out, and it's done in a really great way. It gives you a lot of background into Aquaman. It gives him a lot more character development. You really feel for how ridiculed he is and how much he hates it, how much he's done with it, and how much he does not want to put up with it anymore. And this whole story is pretty much about him just proving people wrong and doing exactly what he needs to be done, or he knows what needs to be done to kind of get his respect back. He is the king of Atlantis. He is the king of the oceans, which covers most of the earth, and no one gives him that respect. So it's nice to see that he's actually kicking ass, taking names, and just doesn't care. And in the first 4 issues, really showcases that really well. His solo issue, Lost, is really good, and it raises a lot of questions, a lot of eyebrows, and you're trying to wonder, who sank Atlantis? That's the biggest question that gets asked in this entire 6 issues. Who sank Atlantis? And next story arc picks up on that and kind of explains a little bit more into Aquaman's background, but that's another review for later. Otherwise, besides the story, the art in this book, really good. Ivan Reis knows what he's doing. He knows how to work with Geoff Johns. He knows how to set up a story and has a really good eye for it and a really good vision. But there's some parts where I felt he kind of cheated a little bit and kind of just busted something out real quick instead of putting as much time and effort as he probably should have. It looks a little sloppy here or there, and it's mainly background people, which it's okay. They don't have to look great, but Aquaman looks great most of the time. Mira looks great most of the time. There's some parts, their face could have been a little nicer, a little cleaner, but hey, it's not that bad. It's still an amazing looking book, and it's still awesome. Like overall, the art doesn't even really hinder it that much or help it that much. The story alone just drives it, and I mean, I was able to read it in a bus ride home, which took me about 30 minutes, so it just busted through it. I flew through this book. You want to read it, you want to turn the next page, you want to know more about Aquaman, which is great. I never thought I'd say that as a comic book reader. If you would have told me that when I first started reading comics, that you're going to love an Aquaman series, I would have laughed at you. I would have been like, nope, Namor's my dude. It's Arthur, man. It's totally Arthur. So I'm going to give this hardcover 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls, and I'm going to tell you, go check out Aquaman, because it's probably the best book you're not reading.